Welcome to Seed 360, a Pioneer Seeds Australia podcast for everything in, on and around the seed. I'm your host today, Hank Frolix, Regional Manager for the Southern Region. Today I've got a friend of the show, Ben Verco, guest host and regular contributor. How you going, Ben?
Yeah, well, thanks. Thanks for having me back on.
No worries. We've got a very special guest today, Ben. Do you want to tell us a bit about who we're speaking to today?
Yeah, pretty exciting. Today we've got Dr. Bill Mahanna coming online from Pioneer over in North America. Bill is the Pioneer Global Nutritional Sciences Manager and has been with Pioneer for about 38 years, so huge amount of experience in nutrition and dairy side of the world. And yeah, we're super excited to have him on and pick his brain a little bit and try and learn a little bit more and share some of his wisdom down here.
And I guess Bill's also going to be a keynote speaker or a guest speaker for our upcoming Appetite for Success roadshow through Northern Vic and Southern Vic in May, which will be great. If you find something that interests you today in this podcast, make sure you get along to either Shepparton, Sale, Inverloch or Warrnambool and meet Bill in person.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic couple of events, those ones. Obviously, alongside Bill, we've got a few other local guest speakers, plus a few of our own internally, and it's going to be a lot of information shared and should be a great couple of events.
Appetite for Success. We'll hope to see you there. So welcome, Bill. Welcome to Seed 360. We're really excited about your upcoming trip to Australia later in May for the Appetite for Success roadshow. We'd love for you to give us a little bit of a rundown on yourself and what you've seen over the last 38 years working for Pioneer in dairy.
39 years now.
39 years, there you go. Sorry, I shortchanged you there.
8 years before that as a college professor, I was the head of the dairy program at a small northern campus in Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, River Falls. But I grew up on a 70-cow dairy in upstate New York, right plumb in the middle of the state of New York. Went to school back east at Cornell and then came out to Wisconsin, which I still maybe a little prideful, but I still think those are probably the two best dairy schools in the country. And then, again, was a college professor for 8 years and then moved to Pioneer, which was just a fantastic move in terms of being able to really feel like you can make a global contribution to the dairy industry. Pioneer having the resources they do to allow me to learn from dairymen all around the world and to share best practices with other dairymen. So it's really been quite a good ride. I still have a little bit of an affiliation with universities. I'm a collaborative faculty member at Iowa State, teach some classes in the agronomy department around forages, and then teach some advanced classes in their dairy science curriculum. So still keep my foot in the academic game just a little bit.
If you think back over that time, like what's been the major shift, I guess, in dairy in the US that you've sort of witnessed? I
was thinking about that this morning, how to answer that. I thought about growing up on a 70-cow dairy and pitching corn silage by hand out of a 12 by 40 wooden silo to feed dairy cows, to what we do today with huge drive-over piles and feeding thousands of cows and having total mixed rations and robotic dairies, and it's unbelievable, just amazing. I was looking up a few statistics. In 1970, I graduated high school in 71. But there was about 650,000 dairy farms in the United States, about 14 million cows. Today, there's only 25,000 dairy farmers and about 9.3 million cows. So it's just been amazing, the consolidations. In the near future, dairy looks really positive for us in North America. Our prices are pretty good. Our feed costs are low. We've got a lot of processing capability coming online. Again, there's a lot of consolidation going on in the dairy industry. Probably one of the interesting things that's happened is just kind of the resurgence of, a positive message about animal fat in human diets. Back to butter. We have a product here, a milk product that's really taken off. It's called Fairlife. It's a ultra-filtered milk product. So it's got higher levels of calcium, higher levels of protein, no lactose. So if they're lactose intolerant, they can drink this milk. But it was something that our dairymen, they have about 10 cents a hundredweight that gets taken out of their milk chucks to do advertising and research. And one of the products that came out of that milk checkoff was this product called Fairlife, which Coca-Cola saw the saw the rating on the wall and bought it. So now it has shelf space everywhere. But real exciting to see, and that we've always had growth in cheese and ice cream and those great products. But we're seeing even a little bit of resurgence in some of the sports drinks and things like that. So that Fairlife is not actually a sports drink, but a lot of people who are concerned about their health migrate to that because again, what they've done is ultra filtered the water out of it, so concentrate all the goodies in milk.
Yep, I guess we're seeing a sort of a trend like that here in Australia, and I've got young kids, and they're always sort of using a dairy supplement of some description. They're quite into their exercise and whatnot, and it's a big change from when I was a kid. We just had full cream milk, and that was it. Now you go to the supermarket, and there's a range of dairy products is huge.
Yeah,
so I guess
the health club that I go to is. They have big posters, advertising, the best thing for you after workouts is some chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And you just didn't see that 10 years ago,
No, 100%. No, I guess that trend is relevant here in Australia too. So it's good to see.
Hey, so Bill, obviously you're based in the States, but you've spent a lot of time globally around the world. So you spent time in Canada, Europe, Ukraine, China, Japan. I think you've also done a trip to New Zealand at some point.
Yeah.
Are you seeing, because Australia's dairy industry has certainly been through a consolidation over the years, but is it a similar trend across the world as far as dairies consolidating, increase of technology, less dairies but more cows that are being milked? Is that a similar trend across the world?
I don't think quite as much as it is in the States. Even in Canada with their milk quota system, there's not the consolidation going on that we see here in North America or in the United States. Certainly the use of technology is easily adapted across the world, but I don't see the same consolidation going on to quite the same extent around the globe. I think part of it is some of the environmental challenges that other countries like in the EU and that may have compared to what we have to deal with here. We still have a lot of ground where there's no people, so we don't have quite the same problems with an environmental footprint or, disposing of manure, that sort of thing. In fact, last week I was just up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is the state that borders Minnesota and Iowa, and a lot of the Western dairies are moving into South Dakota just because, good corn ground, not a lot of people, access to markets not that far away in terms of Omaha, Kansas City, Chicago, we can haul milk. So again, I don't see that same sort of things in the other countries. Also, input cost, half of our cost of producing milk is feed cost, and we're pretty efficient at producing a lot of quality forages, for example. And I think in other countries, those input costs are really high. I know the time I've spent in Japan, Pioneer really pretty much developed the dairy market in Hokkaido. And the reason for that is we were able to import Samco planters that plant into mulch, plastic mulch, biodegradable mulch. And we can really take a dairy like an area like Hokkaido and turn it into a corn silage growing area, which really then it reduces the input cost. I remember talking to some Japanese dairymen that were spending unbelievable amount of money to import grass hay from Western Canada. And the first time I started going to Japan, and I've been there about 20 times, but the first couple of times when we were really trying to grow the market, we said, why are you, shipping grass hay that's kind of marginal in quality from Canada when you can be growing corn silage on your own fields? So again, by having the Samco planters, we're able to plant a little bit longer season hybrids, and the same thing we're doing in Western Canada today in Alberta, which was primarily a barley cereal growing area with a lot of feed yards. Now we've got 68-day hybrids that we're selling there for corn silage, and the yields are just tremendous compared to cereals. So kind of a rambling statement there, Ben, but again, I think I see more consolidation going on here in the States than anywhere else.
Just shows, I guess, the diversity of the dairy market, what dairies are across the global market. I know there'll be a lot of excitement, a lot of questions around that, both from our team internally, but certainly from our customers and those that turn up to the roadshow events.
I need to ask you a lot more questions. There's so much to learn, and your passion really comes through, which is great. We're really excited about hosting you later in May at our upcoming Appetite for Success Roadshow, which we've got 4 events planned across Victoria. It's going to be a big couple of weeks, and we'll get you onto some farms and meet some really innovative growers that we work with quite a lot. Yeah, so is there something that you're really looking forward to while you're down here?
Well, I've been to, as Ben mentioned, I've been to New Zealand. I have a little idea about how corn silage was used to extend the lactation of pasture animals. So I'm looking forward to learn. You have a very diverse dairy market, from dairying like we do here to more New Zealand-based kind of, and then trying to complement it. So it's a little bit more complicated than I have it here. So I'm hoping to learn. And I guess I would say that I don't plan to come down there and tell anybody how to do anything, because I have too much respect for dairymen and agronomists to think that I could tell them anything. They know their environment. They know their cows. I'm just hoping to share what we know here, and maybe they can pick up a few ideas that might be enlightening. But don't expect me to say this is how you should do it, because it's going to be, it'll be totally different down there.
No, I guess that's one thing. Just spending a bit of time with you this morning is different, but it is the same. And I guess our industry is really striving to move forward. We see that in Pioneer here in Australia, is to partner with those people and help utilise our products where we think we can help them to make those leaps in their business. Thank you for your time. I think I know you're going to enjoy your time here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for joining us on Seed 360. Like and follow us for more episodes like this one.